So, I'm prepared for someone to go, and Ryan, go with the theme song.
Nah,
Piggy.
If I do it every time, it's gonna get annoying and predictable.
Fair enough. Predictable, like the games I play. Fair enough. Right. This is the Immaterial Gamers podcast.
Oh, it started.
Yeah.
Well,
shut up.
Yeah.
Start again.
That's how we start. So yeah. Before I was set into confusion. Yeah, Immaterial Gamers podcast. This is episode 6. We've been doing this for a month and a half.
Good lord.
I know.
God save us all.
Who would have thought that's how time works when you do a weekly podcast?
And after 1 month of viewership, I think our biggest video has 30 views on YouTube.
Yeah, which was the first one. Good old episode 1 called Dudden.
Done.
But yeah, we'll keep going. You know, there's only so far you can sink, like my morality.
I've just done a test and everyone passed.
Oh, good. Fair enough. Right, this is being recorded on the 9th of September, which, you know, other than just being the 9th of the 9th, nothing much has gone on this week other than the gaming news that we'll talk about. My name's Ryan, otherwise known as Notimagain. See, told you I can do it.
Congratulations, you introduced yourself. So what is that, like 2 of 6?
It's probably the first time. No, everyone's been like, who's been hosting this?
Yeah, it's just like, who's this guy? And why does he keep introducing everyone else and neglecting to mention himself? Yeah,
You're just a bite on
Ryan,
the sky.
I'm again. Hi, how you doing? This week with me, I have a couple of regulars and one who hasn't been around since episode 2. So we'll start with him first. He's our good friend who resides in the town of Bolton somewhere, maybe. I don't know. Is that correct?
Roughly.
Roughly. Rough introductions are fine. It's our good friend Darius.
Hello, everyone.
And also coming through on this are my effective regulars now. So from Canada, we got GeoffVader, otherwise known as Duncan,
That's me.
and Stefan, otherwise known as Massamuni113.
I can fly!
I wonder sometimes about what prescriptions you're on that makes you feel like you can fly.
He's not on prescriptions, that's why he thinks he can fly. He
Hey,
needs the
Oh, God,
prescriptions
that's
to
worrying.
fix himself.
Yeah,
you
But
would
he won't go to a
understand.
doctor.
natural alternatives to medicine, just Minecraft.
That's
So,
the best That's the best Minecraft. That's the best medicine.
Yeah,
Laughter.
yeah, 1x1 cubes of medicine. So, we'll go through the usual topics like we do every single episode, pretty much. We'll look at what we've been playing, we'll look at some gaming news, and while that's going on, I'll try and think of a question.
What is the question?
It may become that sort of game.
If you were hosting the Immaterial Gamers podcast, what question would you ask the other members?
Yeah, you know what, if that comes along, yeah, you'd like to ask any sort of questions, we do have a Twitter, actually. Maybe I should, use that a bit more often. Twitter.com/immaterialgamer, because it didn't have enough room for an S.
That's just because you're par. You can't afford the S.
I think we should. I personally think it should be like Immaterial Productions. It's like I Am Productions or something like that, and then it's like Gamers. It's just like, it's part of it. Maybe eventually we'll have things that aren't gaming related.
Yeah. Well, so far I am. Don't tell Matt yet, but no, he already knows that later down the line I want to make it the Immaterial Network, of which Gamers will be part of it. But
I like that.
one step at a time. We'll go there. But yeah, twitter.com/immaterialgamer. I know we should do this at the end, but I'll do it now. If there are any questions that want to come up, we also have the Facebook, which is facebook.com/immaterialgamers. It works. They allowed me to have an S.
And don't forget the clan for... That's what it is now. Destiny!
Yeah, and then we've got clans for an absolute metric fuck ton of games. So, yeah. Immaterial Gamers will be around somewhere if you know where to look. So, let's move on from social media...
Plugs.
What? Plugs. Yeah.
That's the one.
And we'll go into the sockets, which are the games that we've been playing. Who should I start with first?
The one who's not been around the most.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's a good idea.
Let's reacquaint ourselves with our favorite vampire.
Yeah. Oh yes, of course.
Just don't
Our
let him
famous
count.
Immaterial Gamers Vampire Princess. It's Darius. What games have you been playing, mate?
Well, oddly, I have not finished the vampire yet.
Ah.
I stuck on kind of last act or something like that. Not played that much recently.
Oh, well, that sucks.
Yeah, that sucks a little bit, yeah. However, I've been playing more like playtesting Sea of Thieves.
Oh yes, the Microsoft's little pirate game.
Yes, me and Stefan found a nice way to try it. We've paid, I think, £1 for our 2 months.
£2.
Of £2 for a Game Pass.
Yeah. So
that's 2 months of kind of like 10 games which you can play on PC, as well as 20 odd or even more on Xbox.
With more to come.
Yeah, with more to come.
I feel like free advertisement here.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, how do you feel the value for money is for that at the moment?
At the moment, quite okay because I enjoy Core.
Mm-hmm.
It's like platformer game with some RPG and hack and slash elements into it.
Mm. I think the last time I actually ever saw that was when they did an E3 announcement like 2 years back.
Probably more something like that. Well, you are a character on a planet which you're supposed to inhabit.
Mm.
However, the ship blew up, everyone dead, and and your companion is a robot.
Okay.
Who helping you to fight strange other robots who's supposed to be there to make the planet habitable for people, but something as always went wrong. The robots who's supposed to be your allies, they are your enemies. And you're running around killing robots, destroying crates, finding prismats, and trying to fix the place.
This sounds familiar.
It's kind of like the story doesn't have anything much into it. It's like one of many.
Sounds a bit overall, like Wall-E.
Yeah, but overall, it's kind of nice game, nice platformer if you want to just sit down and relax. That's nice.
Okay.
Well, I've been playing too much recently the Heroes of the Storm.
Oh yeah.
Last time when I talked about it, I was playing like 4 matches a week.
Mm.
Now I'm playing like 4 games a day.
Ah, good. Increased production.
Yeah. Next we'll be playing 4 games an hour.
Well, yeah, basically one game can last from like 15 minutes to the longest which I ever had was 33 minutes. So you're looking like 45 to an hour for 4 games of Heroes of the Storm. Yeah. Apart from it, Destiny.
Oh yeah.
I'm looking forward to add another like 100 or 200 hours to it.
Yeah.
Not including the thousands of hours on Destiny 1 on PlayStation 4.
Yeah, we should probably let people know as well that, I certainly have a confession to make.
Which is?
I made no promise.
Yeah, I've also ended up back on Destiny 2 as well. Yeah, I said I wasn't going to, because over the previous episodes you'll have seen my not...
Oh, can we leave the discussion about it for a little bit later?
You sure?
Yeah.
So you don't want to do it now?
Fine, we can do it now.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Who's the leader here?
So yeah, I was push off from Destiny because of the pricing, about how they making the content. But yeah, I got the game, a gift for a good friend. And I'm quite happy to have it because it adds and changes a lot in the game, and I'm pretty sure I will be spending a lot of hours on it.
Yeah. I'll give it this for considering the price and what would be me holding back on actually wanting to try it. It's actually changed the features around a little bit to make it a bit more playable, to make it feel like there's actually stuff going on. Would you say, like, sort of compared to where we were getting to at the end of Warmind, so the last expansion, how everything sort of got, well, here's your end game, but we're going to stop you from achieving that end game by drip feeding you stuff.
I still think we get that a bit.
Yeah, but it's not as apparent, and now there's actually more content. I've noticed now that they've added the PlayStation exclusive strikes.
They're just temporary for now. But yeah, I get you. In the past, there was like when you reach the end game, there was not really much to do apart from just getting a new gear.
Yeah.
For starters, right now you can work towards unlocking the I'm not sure how it's called at the moment. I forgot. But you have like a list of achievements to get. There are thousands of them.
Yeah, the Triumph system.
Yes, exactly. So that's something which you can work towards too, isn't it?
Yeah. And I feel that actually, Bungie is working from Blizzard's book of that. Give people content, but then give people ways of experiencing it slightly different for the sake of...
Especially if they're advertising the game as MMO.
Yeah, that's the problem, and it's like they want to call themselves an MMO, but they also at the same time just want to call themselves a shared world shooter. You gotta draw a line. You can only be one or the other. Yeah. And trying to go the MMO way, I think, would actually work better for them. But that's just me.
Well, we'll see how things go, because there will definitely be Destiny 3. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
That's it. That's all I've been playing. Pass on.
Fair enough. Sorry, I cut you off there. What was that?
Pass on. Pass it to the other person.
Yeah, so we'll pass the baton.
Yeah.
Who wants to go next? Okay, don't all jump up at once. Right, Steph.
You're the buddy host.
Yeah, Ryan, take command.
I was just waiting to see, if I could politely let someone else do it, but no. Okay, then, fair enough.
We like
Steph.
to be told what to do.
I mean, irregardless of whether or not you would like to be polite or not, I mean, if we're 6 episodes in now, and every single episode you've been like, all right, let's move on to the next person. I'm gonna pick this guy. You say that's just how the format of the show has been since its inception. So don't change it now on us.
Oh, damn! I wanted to improve. No, I can't call it really improving. That was just a bit lazy on my part.
If you're gonna introduce a change, then say so at the beginning of the podcast or pre the podcast.
Don't trust him.
I like
This isn't the improv podcast, Ryan.
Yeah, no.
That's still in development.
That'll be coming at some point once I've neatened everything up on that. But okay, fair enough. Let's move on. Steph.
Damn it! I was hoping you forgot.
No.
Okay, I can always hope. What have I been playing this week? I have been playing Destiny, obviously, with you and Darius and Dana.
Yep.
No, wait, no, with Dan. Have we been playing with Danny this week?
I don't think so.
Maybe not. We did perk Danny's interest, but possibly not. We don't know.
What else have I been playing? Been playing Minecraft. I'm on a public server at the minute with Dark, so Terra.
Yep.
Right now, all we're doing is playing Skyblocks.
Okay.
But we are looking at playing other server mini games and stuff like that. We're just trying to find one that actually supports the mini games nowadays. It seems to be very hard to find.
they more expecting people to create the mini games and then just do them on the same server then, or just?
A lot of it, if you want a mini game, it's going to be PvP, and at the minute we're not wanting to do the PvP. So we don't want to do the Hunger Games or anything like that at the minute. We want to try doing some of the team-based ones.
Yeah, so more cooperative experiences then. Okay.
I've also been playing. I only played it yesterday. A game called Simulator. It's
What do you simulate?
You make your own people. You get special cards to start off with. The first card you get is humanity. You place it on an island. You get like a little map. You place it on an island, and from there you have to give them what they need. But you're limited by your cards. To get more cards, you have to make humanity live longer. The longer they live and the happier they are, the more coins you get at the end of it. Because after you start off with 50 cards, and after you've used all 50, your last card will always be Doomsday. Or like, just end it. So you just kill off everyone. But I've not played it that much, and I've only got up to 53 cards, so it's not really going that far at the minute.
Alright. Just have to keep us up to date on how that works.
What else have we been playing? I've also played, and I just played it just before this podcast actually, a game called, if I go into my collections, because I can't remember what it's called, Evolution.
Evolution.
I was going to say, what, you can't remember Rainbow Six Siege?
No, I might have
I've only
played
been
that.
playing it for like 3 years.
Hey, I've played that, and then I played this after Rainbow Six. Leave me alone. I do many things. With this, you create like a skeleton, and you add muscles to it, and you then click Evolve. And with that, you're trying to do a certain task. Like the tasks at the minute are running, jumping object over obstacles, and there's another one which I can't remember at the minute. And you're trying to make something that can do that, and as the game progresses, it's like I've set it up at the minute, so each phase is 10 seconds, and after 10 seconds it'll go to the next generation. So from what the first generation's learned, it will be adapted to the second, so they will slowly start walking better, they'll start being able to do other stuff better, slowly developing their skills to become the humans we all know and love today, us.
Okay. That.
I think that's literally all I've been playing.
Fair enough. There's a lot of stuff I wasn't expecting, so.
Hey, I do unexpected stuff all the time.
Yeah, spontaneity is key. Okay, now right, let's move on then to Duncan. What have you been on, mate?
So I haven't played a whole lot of new games or different games. I haven't played any new games, quote unquote. But I've been playing a little bit of Rainbow Six with the guys, as they all know. I had a really good game right before this podcast. Actually, I went 11 and like 2 or 3 over a best of 5 tiebreaker.
Okay.
So that whole
good.
game was good for all of us. Well, especially for me as well. Me and you.
Maybe what we should do from now on, every time we're about to play a multiplayer game, is we just play a bunch of terrorist hunt. You know, get ourselves all relaxed and like calm down, and then get us used to shooting things really quickly. And then it's just like we go to multiplayer and we go like bop 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 and get everybody, and we're like cool. We take it too seriously, and we just choke it away. It's like 0-3, 0-4. Oh God, help me.
Yeah, it's like if you're playing it like it's just another game. It would probably work better.
I did forget, like up to 40 seconds into the first round of our game, that we were even playing against other humans. I'm like, oh right, I actually have to try. Okay. What do I do?
I was about to say you did that in the first one.
Was that the quote where I was hearing, is that the window? Yes, that's the window.
No, I think that was the one after.
Ah, right, okay. Just like yes, that is a window. Oh no, that's a bullet that's come through the window into my cranium.
What you got is one of our defences. I think it was a second defence we did, and as I said window, he got shot from the window at the same time, and he just spotted him at the same time I said window.
Yeah.
Ah.
Couldn't quite back off in time.
Oh, well. So
You win some, you lose one.
have they got the new Brits then?
Well, they do. We've
I
got Clash, the shielded defender, who is really annoying to deal with.
and she's from Destiny.
Yeah. And we have Gavin Free from Achievement Hunter, oddly. That's a weird choice. He has a blowtorch for some reason.
Right. Just to confirm on this, you are not shitting me.
It looks.
Well,
like,
I mean,
it looks like him.
it does look like him.
Right. Okay. Oh, fair enough. I was just about to say, the hell, that's a bit weird. To, Ubisoft in their hyper-realistic game, they've got. Right. Let's get that guy from Achievement Hunter and send him with a blowtorch. Yeah.
And he just throws moonballs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
So basically,
every action he does is in super slow mo.
yeah.
That's his ultimate.
Yeah, just that little music in the back.
Slow motion replay of the bullet going directly between his eyeballs.
Yeah. It seems the Gavin way.
Yeah, so we got Clash, who's a female defender. She puts up a shield, an electro shield, that she can use to tickle people to death. Mostly
Nice.
it's just to annoy people. It's unlimited bullets, but it has to recharge. The shield itself can stay out as long as she wants. She can't attack with it, obviously. It's a full body shield. Completely bulletproof. The only way to really deal with her is you have to like melee her shield. That kind of makes her stumble a little bit, and then you get her again, either by shooting her or hitting her, punching her again. The danger comes in when you try to go for that move and she drops her shield and then pulls out a gun. But then, I mean, that's life. That's shield units.
Yeah, but the other issue with it is
But the
while she's
gun has to
stunning
be loaded.
you can't.
Yeah.
It's harder to get to her while she's stunning you.
Yeah. So she's pretty tough. She's hard to get around. Other than with like explosives and other such gadgets, she's tricky. She's gonna take a little bit of a learning curve.
I'm just gonna carry impact grenades around all the time.
Impact grenades are for defenders, and
People don't know this.
They do now.
Yeah, I know it. Damn you, Duncan. Spot.
Fair dues. Right. Have you been playing anything else?
also, while I was this is my sister's influence speaking again. My little weeaboo sister
Oh,
got me to play some Japanese game. It's a free-to-play light horror, psychological horror, I'm gonna call it. Game made in RPG Maker 2000 or whatever, called Ebe. Ebe, spelled I-B. So basically, Ebe, spelled I-B, is this free-to-play, free-to-download game where essentially you play as this 9-year-old girl who goes to an art museum with her family, and you accidentally find yourself in another dimension, as you do.
Yeah.
Always.
It's my greatest fear. That's why I don't go there.
Yeah, no kidding, right? Anyway, you fall into this alternate dimension that's mostly just trying to kill you. There's some creepy imagery, some weird, ominous text. It's sort of baby's first horror game, except I'm an enormous pussy who thinks that Luigi's Mansion is a terrifying game, so it's just a nightmare to me. So in order to really progress through that game, I found it necessary to drink some liquid courage, aka rum.
Okay, good.
And by some, I mean like 6 drinks or so.
Like half the bottle.
Yeah, I was well inebriated, and the spooks weren't quite as effective on me anymore. Although I did not anticipate this. It's also a game about puzzle solving, so that made that really difficult.
Oh, right. So you needed the ability to be sober enough to do the puzzles, yet drunk enough to avoid the spooks.
Who just
Yeah,
dropped something?
and
by
I
the way?
kind of that was me. I was playing with something on my desk. So yeah, I just kind of blazed right past that healthy Goldilocks zone and went straight into shit-faced. Uh,
Oh,
so,
God,
so that was fun. I
Yeah.
didn't exactly get it finished in one sitting though, so that was a problem. When I came back to it completely sober, I'm like, oh right, I forgot this game is scary.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah, I don't really want to spoil too much about the story because it's like, it's kind of, it's very, it's a very narrative-driven game, and a lot of, it's one of those games where like nearly every decision you make, including choices of text responses to other characters in the game, will affect what kind of ending you get, and there's like 55 million endings, so. Yeah, it's a very narrative-driven game. I don't want to say too much about it, but it's a fun little thing. It takes you about 2 or 3 hours generally, depending on what kind of ending you get
Okay.
and how smart you are.
Oh god, that sort of stuff, narrative-based horror. It's almost reminded me of there's what is it? The free game on Steam, Doki Doki Literature Club.
Yeah, it's not quite on that level of you out there-ness. It's relatively conventional. Just it's all like it's like pixel art stuff. So it's like that kind of like in some ways that kind of takes down the horror elements, and in other ways it almost emphasizes it. It's like some things are like it's like, oh, it just looks too goofy to actually be spooky, but other things are like, oh god, it's so like vague and non-specific that like your imagination just kind of makes you go, what the hell even is that?
Yeah, that's the most effective horror, isn't it? Fear of the unknown.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why stuff that just goes ooga booga every 2 seconds catches you out the first time and then just makes you giggle every other time.
Ooga booga!
Ah!
I had to do that.
Yeah.
Well, luckily I'll be immune to future Ooga Boogas. According to Ryan's theory.
Yeah, no, it's always
6 years down the line, that's when I'm going to do it again.
Episode 652. Just like, 10 minutes in, just a one random ooga booga.
I'm going to do it louder as well.
That'll actually be realising someone's playing the Crash Bandicoot games again. Ooga
Boodaba!
Yeah. Alright, so I guess it's now my turn, isn't it?
Sure.
The usual
Is
one.
it? Or is it someone else's?
Well, no, everyone else has had their turn.
Are you sure?
Yeah, you sure?
Don't gaslight me, you fuckers.
We're just making sure that this is happening.
It is happening. I see time going. Right, anyway, yeah, so I've played a couple. I went and had a look through the recent Humble Monthly that unlocked on Friday. And, been playing some Sniper Elite 4. Because nothing screams nice, relaxed gameplay other than watching, after virtually every bullet, watching a sniper go through a evil Nazi with X-ray gloriousness and my uncanny ability to keep killing them by shooting them in the eyes.
Have you shot them in the groin yet?
No, but someone did tell me that it was like at one point on Sniper Elite 3 there was a DLC mission where you could shoot Hitler, and the aim was to shoot him in one testicle to make sure that he had only one ball. Wow, tough crowd.
But what were we on about?
Ooga Booga.
Yeah. Ooga Booga. No, I was saying there was a DLC mission where you could shoot Hitler in the balls, but, apparently that's not
the
free.
ball.
Well, yeah.
No, at the time he has balls. You're removing the one.
Yeah.
It's a good day to die when you are a eunuch.
Damn it. God, you killed me.
See? That's how you
that was
tell
the
a joke.
Immaterial Gamers podcast. Everyone see it now. I've been playing through some of it actually with Matt. Playing a co-op campaign that you can do in there. You can play all the levels of the game with up to 4 people. But they also have this asynchronous mode called Overwatch. Not to do with the Blizzard game Overwatch, which coincidentally is the next Humble Monthly unlocked game. But it's like one of you is a sniper, so you end up on the high grounds of the map, with the ability to shoot all the dudes, all the bad guys, and one of you is the spotter, whose job it is to get all the objectives completed. But you don't have a nice sniper rifle that can instantly take a Nazi's head off. You have a crappy submachine gun that is massively loud and pumps lead all over the place so everyone can hear you. So you kind of have to work together to clear out the maps, tagging stuff for the sniper to actually shoot, and then the sniper making sure that you don't become Swiss cheese while you do the objectives. So I kind of like that. I kind of like sort of asynchronous multiplayer in the first place. You know, stuff like 3-on-1 games and stuff like that. They're quite enjoyable. But yeah, I was liking that. I want to play some more of it, and then save Italy from the bad Italians and the bad Germans. You know, like how history happened. And then the other game that I've been playing is a game called, and I can't believe I'm saying this, Battle Chef Brigade.
Oh my god.
Yeah, very odd. Very anime, but very odd.
Explain yourself.
Video game. So the idea is it's a story experience. You are a chef in some fantasy world who wants to become part of the Battle Chef Brigade. These are like the best warriors in this fantasy world because not only can they fight, but they can cook a mean meal. And the idea is that you are taking part in a Master Chef or Iron Chef or whatever the big cooking show in the world is.
Master Chef.
Probably Master Chef would probably be better. Well,
it's really British then.
Yeah, in a sort of sense as well, because it is. Because like I've only played one match at the moment, but the idea is that you end up being judged by the culinary experts of this world, and you are given a set amount of time to not only hunt for your own ingredients, but then make them into a meal that fits each judge's theme and element.
Is one of the judges named Royden Gamsey?
No, there isn't. Well, I've not got that far yet. One of the characters, one of the other people competing in it, ends up being the trial judge for it. But if they don't have Weg Grollis or someone like that, or Goyd Losman, or some other joke of a chef who judges competitions.
You lost me.
They're British Master Chef judges over the years. Well, apart from Lloyd Grossman's actually American, but still. So yeah, you get given 5 minutes. So it is part side-scrolling Metroidvania style action RPG, but it is also a puzzle game. It's weird. So it's like you hunt for the stuff. You hunt for the ingredients by fighting these monsters and creatures that are around. You loot those ingredients. You take them to a pantry, and then you drop them all into a match 3 puzzle game. And it shouldn't work, but I was enjoying it. I actually thought it was quite quaint.
Fascinating.
Very, very, very chibi. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's weird how it's actually working, but I want to play more of it, and I might have to actually talk about it on another podcast or so. But not next week. There's reasons. But yeah. So other than that, that's what I've been playing.
Next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Yes, we will continue cooking this pan-fried rice. No. So that brings a close to the games that we've been playing, and after 37 minutes of recording, we'll move on to some news. Can I get a News at 10 style bong, please?
Bong.
My bong's downstairs.
Oh.
I don't know what your News at 10 bongs on.
It's like a Big Ben style bong.
Bong.
Thank you. That will actually work. Right, let's move on. Let's start with dickish things that game developers are doing to try and keep their scummy practices going.
Loot boxes?
So this is the news that
Riot
2K
Games.
Games,
What was it,
who
2K?
make all the 2K sports games, you know, like NBA 2K and all that stuff, are moaning a little bit, and they're begging the government to do stuff. In that case, it is to ask players to contact Belgian government representatives to re-allow loot boxes into their games. This is based off the fact that a couple of weeks back, the Belgian Gambling Commission had determined that loot boxes are a form of gambling.
Oh, they are. They
and therefore need to
definitely
be...
are.
Yeah. So they confirmed that it was a form of gambling, and have said that basically any game that has loot boxes needs to remove them or remove the game. So you've got stuff like Blizzard, who've begrudgingly removed stuff from Overwatch, but then have went, we'll go the old-fashioned way. We'll try and discuss this and see why. We'll make it real. We want to make sure that people have player choice in buying boxes again. I do that in finger quotes.
If that's the case, the only way to make it not gambling is knowing what they're paying for straight off the bat.
Yeah.
Basically,
Yeah,
if you get this, we guarantee you get this.
Yeah. There's something that come up that all these games companies are not doing properly. And it's the fact that we add rarity to stuff. Okay, right, so you've got commons, you've got your rares, you've got your super rares. What are the chances of getting each one? You get these rarities. We don't want to tell you what the drop rates are. Well, that is basically gambling bullshit.
Mm.
But anyway, that happened. Belgium have requested that he's been removed from the games. But 2K Games, rather than actually launching a legal challenge themselves, have went and said to their players for the new NBA 2K19, they've basically asked for him, well, if you want loot boxes, sorry, we can't help you. Blame your government. Go speak to them. And it's like, oh my god, that is petty and stupid.
Well, on the long run, they will start losing money soon because the people are fed up with loot boxes.
Yeah, I mean yeah, you're right. That's the thing. The reason loot boxes are being so sort of reviled at the moment is because they are dodgy.
Yeah, well, it's like gambling, except you never win, even when you do get nice stuff. It's like, yeah, I spent $60 on this thing that will disappear in 2 years when this game is turned off because online servers.
Yeah, which is more likely to happen because of this whole games as a service thing. It's like you're not buying a functional game anymore. You're buying access to a server that the game's stored on, that they can just turn off the moment they go, oh, we're not making money anymore. Yeah, you know what? Let them moan.
I'm on Belgium's side.
It's a whole thing to unpack, and it's a lot to talk about like at the end of a podcast, so I won't go into everything. But essentially, this is just proof that the video game industry is essentially playing the world's most expensive game of Jenga. It's just like, it feels like it's slowly starting to acknowledge the fact that its whole marketing strategy, its whole game plan is essentially just prop itself up on as flimsy a platform as possible, just so that it can stay stable long enough to build the next thing, so they can move on to the next thing and make more money. It's like, like it takes thousands of people to make these games. They have budgets like films now or more, and it's like players have such increasingly high demands for new content in video games and new kinds of content for video games. It's like they make these decisions, they make these choices, like having loot box systems and paid subscription services and whatever, to try and maximize their income and profit margins, and making as much money upfront as quickly as possible as they can, so that they can provide these new things that people are constantly demanding and constantly striving for. But then but eventually, they run out of momentum and they collapse like a house of cards. And they just have to hope that they've made enough money in the meantime to move on to the next thing, so that they continue to be a business. It's like I say, it's like a game of Jenga. They're just stealing from themselves to try and put themselves up as high as they can, and just hope that they don't collapse in the meantime. And this is just loot boxes are just one part of the overall picture here, and I feel it's a sign of bad things in the future.
Yeah, I mean, between that, your season passes, and everything else, it is just all stuff, isn't it? Buying a video game just doesn't seem to be enough.
It's like it's kind of ironic that all of these systems that are in place to try and increase the viability of games over a long term, to make them more, to try and convince people to play them for longer periods of time, and justify the cost sunk into their game, because now games are all online. Every single game that exists has an ongoing cost associated with it because of how expensive it is to run servers and all that, because we needed to have that in order to make players get the experience that they wanted. Anyway, in order to increase the viability of their game and make it last as long as possible, it's almost like they somehow made games last even less time as a result. Like, games prior to the internet age, a game would come out and people would be happy to play that game for years and years and years before there was ever a sequel, if there was ever a sequel.
Yeah.
Prior to the internet age, people would be playing games from previous console generations and be just fine with that, because that's just how they were. Now it's like people can't stay interested in a game on average for more than 2 to 6 months at a time, despite how many efforts despite what they're doing to try and make people play longer. It's like I don't understand. It's some kind of the paradox.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see where you're coming from. It's like, we want people to play our games as long as possible, but we need people to be playing as many of our games as possible. You're right. Paradox indeed. You know what? Fuck the game industry. You know what? We quit. No. No, I definitely see where you're coming from.
Are we changing name? Are we just becoming the Immaterials?
Yeah, we're just immaterial people.
Hey, I already coined the name, Immaterial Productions. I am Productions. Trademark.
Yeah.
Do not steal.
Okay, OC, do not steal. Fair enough. It's just a lot of it, though, is also in the fault of the publishers as well, with them wanting to, monopolize on everything. They don't just want your money; they want every penny of your money.
They want my pocket money.
Yeah, they want your money. They want your mother's money. They want your friend's money.
They want your liver.
Yeah. Soon they'll just become repo man. Repo men. It's like, you want to play our games, you need to buy our brain. It's just a complete.
I don't want their brain. I already have my own.
No, it's their proprietary brain that you've got to buy and install in your own head in order to play the games.
Oh, God. So I have to have surgery now to play a game. For fuck's sake.
Yeah, probably.
God, no. The day that video games reach a point where they actually physically invade my brain with anything, be it through an implant that I already have and then just connecting to it wirelessly, or if it's an actual direct input, the day that happens, I'm out. I quit. I'm done. I don't ever want a single other person to have control over how my brain works, ever. Period. There are no exceptions. Not even doctors. Not even doctors.
They're not going to control how it works, just how you see things.
Yeah, that's how it works, buddy. That's part of that definition. That's a part of the umbrella. Not happening.
So basically saying the moment we end up like Sword Art Online...
Fuck that. Sword Art Online gives me like anxiety. Just the concept of it
that.
Freaks me out. Like, no, absolutely not.
The game's terrible, but the show itself and the manga.
No, you see, I'd love the ability to have like full body VR, but I'm with Duncan on that. The moment they then turn around and say, "Nah, you can't log out," I'm like, "Fuck it, just kill me now."
But instantaneous mental breakdown.
Yeah.
But you're saying you would play it until that moment. He's saying he won't play it at all.
Well, at least he'd be the one there that'd be on the outside to be able to bloody rip the thing off my head. I don't care if the microwave kills me.
The microwave.
The microwave.
Yeah. So, yeah, but yeah, we don't have to worry about that Monopoly yet. But we do have to worry about this one. You know, you've made it in nerd culture, I guess, when your game, film, movie becomes a Monopoly set.
Why? I've not seen Toy Story Monopoly.
Avengers Monopoly.
Simpsons Monopoly.
Simpsons Monopoly.
I'm sure Batman has his own Monopoly, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think he does. Football clubs have their own Monopoly, and now so does Fortnite.
Yeah, but Fortnite has so many other stuff of their own nowadays.
Yeah.
At my work, there's a Fortnite ball somewhere. I've seen it.
See, I'm just yeah, no, it's just just monopolies just being all over the place. You know? And why Fortnite though? I mean, how do you make a battle royale game into Fortnite?
Ask Epic.
I mean, a battle royale game into Fortnite? That's what it already is. You might want to try that one again.
Well,
how do you turn Fortnite into Monopoly?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I should mention that. Yeah, I should try that again. Right, come on. Wake up. How do you make a battle royale game like Fortnite into Monopoly?
Well,
you know how many times I've looked at Monopoly branded things and just been like, how did they make that into Monopoly? And they just do. They just do.
Do you know something?
Lots of imagination.
It still gives you the same family arguments, the same everything.
Someone ends up losing a leg.
Or you lose the table.
I think it's other way around. Epic Games ask for Monopoly brand to basically make it, and now both of them are making money. But I assume it was Epic influence to make it.
Mm.
You know what would be funny if the people who made Fortnite bought out Hasbro. Obviously they don't have enough money. Like theoretically, like if they had enough money to do that and they bought out Hasbro and they could have a monopoly on Monopoly and make a Monopoly game for their game.
I know that'd be awful. But jeez. I mean, apparently, I'm looking at when it's actually due to come out.
As long as you've got a good franchise and people are into one single media and they are willing to spend loads of money on it.
Ruby.
Wow.
Then,
all I heard was.
then you're getting an entrance into other branches. So everything. So you're getting to the point when you see, let's say Fortnite. When you see a Fortnite, you want that item, no matter what it is. You are not interested in anything else, whether it's T-shirts, shoes, backpack, or whatever. It's have a Fortnite on it. I'm buying it.
If you give me a Minecraft pig, I'm buying it.
I don't know what you're talking about. Looks around and I have 12 Ruby figures on my wall, and a Laser Team action figure, and an RTX loot bag, and a Ruby Grim hoodie. Oh God, what have I become?
Yeah. No, mine's definitely. I definitely don't do stuff.
I'm a Rooster Teeth
4
shill.
stacks of board games ready to kill a human man.
No, but you've got diversity. What we're talking about is when you have brand loyalty to the extent that you'll just buy everything that is associated with them. I bought Rooster Teeth dog collars. God damn it! I'm a shill.
So the only thing I have for this is I have Gundam models all over the place.
Wrestling shirts.
Oh yeah, you've got that, yeah.
Yeah.
What have you got, Darius?
Sure, lots of random stuff, to be honest.
Rubbish. That's what it's called. You can't.
That's not. No, don't be cruel.
That's not being cruel. You should see it.
Well, I think the only kind of franchise which you might find more than any other are The Witcher.
Yep.
Because of books, because of the collector editions of the games, books, T-shirts, notepads, and small figures as well, somewhere lying around. So yeah, that's the only thing which I have franchise-wise.
Hey, it turns out we've all got our obsessions.
Tell you what, the best licensed board game though, StarCraft Risk. Fuck.
Oh, StarCraft Risk.
Oh
And
yeah,
he got
I
a
like
phone
it.
call. He got a phone call.
No, I'm not answering it. But yeah, no, it's great. It's basically like regular Risk, except the board has been like flipped horizontally, and the cards that you get at the end of the turn that normally you just use for armies,
Yeah.
they also have like abilities printed on
Special
them.
ability, yes.
Yes.
I've got the game. So I
And,
know what you're talking about.
So it goes from a game of hoarding these cards for as long as possible and until you're forced to turn them in, which is what every Risk game turns into eventually, to a game where basically people just spend their cards almost as soon as they get them because the abilities are just so good that they're useful like all the time, and they're just like it's so much different. It's so different from regular Risk, and you can get achievements that you can use. That give you rewards that help you. They give you like permanent buffs in the game. Like you can get an extra attack die where you get to use 4 attacking dice instead of 3 and use your best 3. You have defense die where you get an extra defending die and use the best 2.
And the miniatures are great.
Yeah,
I like the little Zerglings.
Yeah, I love the little models. I think the Zerg models are actually probably the most top-notch models. They're really well detailed. They all stand really nicely.
How do you actively represent a Zerg rush in StarCraft Risk then? Just picturing like just this board covered in tiny little Zerg models.
Well, still, each model is worth one soldier basically.
Ah.
They are just a visual representation of each
Yeah, and you also get hero units, which they don't count as an army, but you basically use them. You basically put them with your army, and what they do is whenever they're attacking or defending from the location that they're on, they add +1 to your highest die roll for that battle. So like if you rolled a 5, as your highest roll, you get a 6, and if you get a 6, you have a 7, and if you get a 7, then that means that unless they also have a +1 of some kind, then you automatically win that particular engagement. So it's pretty cool. They're pretty helpful. But yeah, no, it's great. I like that they have the basic core gameplay of Risk, but they supercharged it with some StarCrafty themed elements. I play it quite frequently with my family.
Fair enough. Well, that took us right down a rabbit hole, and I guess I secretly got my question answered out of there as well. Just turned it from I didn't think of a question, but just when you get the question of
what game would you like to turn into a board game?
I was going to go with what game would you like to turn into a board game, but then the question of just being what obsession do you have in terms of collecting stuff, and it got answered pretty easily.
Well, at the moment on the Kickstarter, you can go Horizon Zero Dawn.
What?
It's licensed licensed from PlayStation. They license it to one of the British developer. They also make the Dark Souls board game.
Oh yeah, them ones.
Yeah, and then they asking for £100 for a board game.
Yeah, I say this is someone who sits there and goes when they look at something and it's £55 for a board game.
However, you're getting shitloads of figures in it.
Yeah, that's just.
But
more
then
ankles to break.
I'm kind of a person who prefer just to sit down, have a good time, than have models on the display. So I would be more happier to save, let's say, £30 and have a cardboard standees.
Yeah.
I can't say anything because, as the shill that I am, I spend probably over $100 US. US dollars, mind you, more expensive than Canadian. On the super duper mega ultra extended balls to the walls edition of Ruby Combat Ready, or Rooster Teeth, board game, up and coming. And I still haven't got that yet. They've been delayed like months and months and months, and I still don't have it. I got the coin, I got the t-shirt, and I got the prints. That's all I've got from that order yet.
No.
All the
You'll
rest
get
of
the
it's
rest.
in the game. So that
You'll
expense.
get the rest. Oh man. Right. I'm gonna drop that last bit of news. We've got one because I don't think I could actively talk about it without offending someone, and two because we're nearly running up to an hour.
Yeah.
So
Right, who
Well,
are we offending?
we're not.
Uh-huh.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Correct
So
answer.
Well, I'm going home.
yeah. So we'll wrap this up. Good link into the fact that we're talking Rooster Teeth stuff. Me and Stefan won't be here on next week's podcast because we are going to be in London
To buy a Heat magazine.
to buy a Heat magazine, but also to go to RTX London.
That just happened to fall on the dates.
Yeah, no, it's Heat magazine first, convention next. But no, it'll be my first convention I've ever been to, so that will be fun.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, me and Steph are going to try and document it in some way. We'll figure that out.
Get
That'll probably that'll probably end up on the website a couple of weeks after, and maybe discussed on like the next after podcast. But someone will be taking over my hosting for that. It may be Matt, it may be someone else, but yeah, that'll be taken over for next week.
So I basically just need another, just need another showrunner for the episode.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah. So just another showrunner, and then just remember to treat that showrunner like you would treat me.
So poorly, and make fun of him all the
Correct.
time.
Correct. Yeah.
Sounds like my
Okay.
type of value.
I could do that.
Okay. No, that'd be
But
great.
if they don't
Right.
treat you the same way Ryan treats you, then deal with Ryan.
What? What? With derision yet politeness.
Yeah. If we don't get the nice polite responses from our negative attitudes, it will slowly drive down a rabbit hole of deceit, neglect, and then we may lead to murder. Or suicide.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Treat them fine. Treatment. Make sure they treat you fine. We'll keep that going. The last thing I need to do is sit there. Oh yeah, so is there any business decisions that you're going to write off? Yeah, the 4 mass murderers that I hired.
Hey, it'll only be 3. It'll be the host, whoever you've got replaced hosting you would be the issue. And to be honest, I won't be there anyway, so it'll be only the 2 of them.
Yeah.
/3 of them. It depends on how the general takes it. And the general, he has the guns.
He's armed and ready.
Yeah, he's always armed and ready, ladies.
Okay, so that's the oddest wrap up to a podcast that I've done in the 6 weeks that we've been going. So
avoid the rabbit hole, children. Avoid the rabbit hole.
Oh Jesus!
Avoid the
rabbit hole. You don't want to break your ankles. But we'll wrap that up there. So thank you for listening. If you managed to get this far, I know it's been an odd journey, but I appreciate it if you do. Remember, follow the Twitter, follow the Facebook, like, share, and subscribe. I didn't say that; someone else did with my voice. And other than that,
You must appease the YouTube algorithm bots.
yeah, algorithm. What a word. Yeah. Oh god, that scared me now. We'll leave that there, and someone will see you next week.
Alrighty. Take care.
Okay.
So yeah,
Take
have a good
care,
one.
guys.
See you later.
Coconuts.
Yeah.